President Trump has announced a new group to help reopen the country.
We're also setting up a council of very great doctors and business people. I call it the Opening Our Country Task Force, or Opening Our Country Council.
Joining us now, someone who has experience with White House councils and task force, shall we say, Mack McLarty, former chief of staff to President Clinton, chairman of the McLarty Group as well. Good to see you, sir. Appreciate it. Does this make sense to you or too early?
No, I think it's about right, Leland. I think the president, along with the governors and mayors and other leaders in our country, both from the public and private sector, first need to meet the moment, which was the crisis of the pandemic, to really seriously address the health issues. I think they have made every effort to do that with Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx, and others, to flatten that curve and for the hospitals not to get overrun. And of course, all of our hearts and admiration go out to the first responders, including doctors and nurses. But now I think it is time to look past meeting the moment, not to take our eye off the ball, to be very clear. We've still got work to do to make sure that this environment is safe and that we save as many lives as we can from this very viral epidemic. But it is time to look forward to how we can get this economy reopened, because that's about renewing and building lives as well, and how to do that. So I think the president's timing is about right, and other governors across the country are taking somewhat similar measures in their states, Leland. We
heard from the governor of Oklahoma a little bit earlier, who did talk about that in terms of how exactly to reopen things, like starting with elective surgeries and then restaurants at 50%, et cetera. As we look at the weekly job numbers, week ending April 4th, 6.6 million unemployment claims, 6.9 million the week before, 3.3 million the week before that, 16.78 million, 10% of the workforce without a job in 3 weeks. You think it's fair to say that no president has ever faced something quite like this before?
I think this situation is unprecedented, Leland. I don't think there's any question about that. It's whiplash. The economy was moving forward at a rapid pace in terms of growth, jobs, and even wage increases. And all of a sudden, the pandemic hit and the economy was shuttered. And you can just look at the front pages of newspapers and look at those unemployment claims, which reflect your 10%. So this is unprecedented, it's unsettling, and it's challenging. But I think we can rise to meet the occasion.
You have a unique perspective in this, having served at both the highest levels in government and also been highly successful in business, both before and after your time in government. Where is the intersection that government can actually help when it comes to reopening the country, and what does government need to stay out of to allow American business and American entrepreneurs to do and be their best?
Leland, that's the right question in my view. I think the government, again, both at the federal and state and local level, have to step forward to be supportive on the health front. I think that's number one. There obviously has to be tremendous response from at the local level and from the private sector as well, from the healthcare providers, first responders. I think from a business standpoint, certainty, a clear pathway ahead to the extent that it can be started and noted. That's what the government can do, is give a framework here and support, which I think the package that the Congress passed following the administration's lead is part of that.
All right. Mack McLarty of the Clinton administration and now of the McLarty Group. We appreciate your time, sir. All the best to you, and stay safe the coming weeks, sir.